Manga mode very easily.
I'm not sleeping on anyone in this set.
No.
I'm expecting both teams to win somehow.
Yeah. Looks like maybe later back with their tried and true comp they've been running last time. But for Manga mode, we're getting a Kensa Dualies, a Enzap to go up. Oh, actually, there is no Brella or Junior coming out from maybe later. So taking away some armor. Interesting. But we do have, to finish that off, a pro and a heavy on both sides.
Mango with the gamble and the losing the gamble. There's a term for that. There's a phrase for that I clearly just botched right there.
Yeah, and it looks like they're trying to put a lot of pressure on the Splatling, trying to get the backliner out of their position, make sure that they can't get that Stingray quickly.
Really solid plan. I'd say pressuring the backliner is one of the most valuable skills to have in especially in Rainmaker, because backliners are so important in making sure that a push gets executed properly.
Yeah, and I mean they can stop pushes better than anyone because they're the farthest back. They can kind of execute the right movements to be able to prevent a push from going much further. They can use their specials, etc. A baller v baller battle, and it looks like baller 1 tops baller 2. And
which baller were you talking about there?
You know, the baller.
Yeah, there you go. I was about to commend maybe Jan, the Slosher Deco, for doing a really interesting tech, panic ballering, which is something you don't see anymore since there are no more invincibility specials. A baller is the closest thing you get to one. She was about to, get splatted due to the Rainmaker and decided to pop her baller instead.
Yeah, it looks like Mango was trying to sneak around, but did get spotted out by maybe Korn, who is going to be going up and putting some pressure. Oh, and okay.
Backliner trade.
A good trade. That was important. Walking up on a Splatling charging when you're not even prepared is usually a death sentence, but fortunately Korn was able to come out with that. And looks like a slow burn push, but Mango, trying to be aggressive, did not have the support he needed to be able to get that pick.
They will not get this lead, and they will instead drop to this. There's that backliner being so important.
Yeah, backliners. Can't live without them. But yeah. So we're back in mid. It's really back and forth right now, actually. So both teams are putting a lot of pressure on one another. Neither have gotten like that a truly dominant push. 40s is always a solid start, though. And it looks like
they're going to be popping their specials. That's really all it takes for a dominant push. And look, they get the where's the objective? I can't.
Yeah. Well, we finished the objective. It looks like they were able to get all the way in. Maybe not. We couldn't follow it per se, but awesome job to Mango Mode for getting the knockout, being able to steamroll after those specials and get through. It looked like maybe later was trying to flank from behind, seeing all the specials going forward, but they were a bit slow and they weren't able to capitalize on it.
If you'll notice those kill counts, maybe later was actually leading them in the kill counts, but they weren't able to capitalize on the objective.
Well, was it splat count, or was it maybe that they were playing really well together and getting a lot of assists, whereas Mango Mode was a little bit more of a 1v1 kind of team where they're going to be getting a lot of solo picks.
This is Zone's Humpback, right?
Yeah, Zone's Humpback, the circle. Not the circle zone, but the circle map. Actually, it's interesting. Like, think about this, though. Like, when I guess the devs knew they were going to be doing a circle zone at some point when they had Wahoo World, right? Yeah. They had Wahoo World, like, probably in some sort of concept phase, at least when they were coming out with all the different maps. And, of course, Humpback was there from the start. But they knew they at least had the technology to make a circle zone. But on the map that is literally a circle, it's a square, it's a rectangle.
Right.
But on a map that's not as much of a circle, it's a circle.
Right.
So, I don't know.
I mean, Wahoo does have that big moving rotating circle.
Yeah. So
I guess that is the draw of it.
Yeah, and I mean, especially when we came off of Splatoon 1, where probably the best example of what could have been a circle zone being Museum.
Yes.
Didn't have one. So obviously that was something they either hadn't thought of or hadn't figured out how to do, but I guess they figured it out now.
Me personally, I think they could have done a better job of reworking Blackbelly zones. Blackbelly zones with the two zones on the opposite sides of the tower is one of the most frustrating zones maps I've ever played.
Yeah, it can get stalled out. Also, maybe your mic got a little bit quiet.
Let's fix that. Oh,
all
that's
right,
way better.
Sick. Yeah, stream can now hear Sean a lot better.
Nice.
Hopefully. Yeah. So, looks like we're just waiting on folks to confirm all their.
Yeah, game will get started in 5 seconds.
Yeah. they'll let us know if there's any issues. It looks like folks are just kind of clowning around, having fun, as it should be here. Yeah.
Flo, could you switch to gameplay?
Yeah, we're going to get the gameplay ready to go in 1 second. Our lovely streamer Flo, who this is her channel, is also helping us run the Smash GG bracket. So that way we can have a couple of folks on commentary, as well as ability to hop out and be able to help any issues that come up. It looks like, again, Sinek with the Splatling, maybe later going out pretty standard, and yeah, similarly standard from Mango mode.
Let's watch. Something to notice about this map in particular is the hills on both sides, the overlooking hills, are so important for dominance and for control on this map.
Yeah, and one of the big differences between the two comps is we have a double slosher comp coming out from Mango mode versus no buckets out of maybe later. And I'm wondering, do you think the sloshers are going to really play a big factor in this? It's pretty back and forth right now. Yes, Mango mode does have the advantage currently, but maybe later is put some points on the board already and looks like they can easily come back in.
Right, sloshers are really important in this map because there's so much verticality, and sloshers are able to circumvent that. They're able to get around that with their hitbox being active the entire time. I think Muty and who was it, Mango, are going to be able to capitalize really well with that. Considering the other team, they don't really have a lot of ledge abuse.
Yeah, but they do have some great specials to capture the zone. They have the armor that can make an easy force in with everyone getting basically some extra HP to go in. They also have the bubbles, one of the best specials for capping a zone. Great trade between Muty and the dually player.
That was maybe juicy. Give you the credit for that.
Maybe juicy. Thank you, thank you.
One thing I will notice. Oh, never mind. I thought I was wrong. Muty opted to go with the regular Explosher instead of the baller variant. I thought they were going to go with double baller because we've seen that a lot, especially in the open. We saw a lot of double baller comps.
Yes, tons of double baller. It seems to be one of the most popular things to do, especially on zones where you can just coordinate those ballers and instantly cap basically any zones map, whether it be a smaller two zones or one large zone. Wow, and maybe later is putting up a really good fight. They're consistently capping the zone and slightly just ticking away at that lead. And they've been stuck at 44 for Mango mode for looks like a minute now.
Yeah, no, they're having maybe later's having no problem getting that zone back, and I think they're going to come out to show that they're a really strong zones. They're really strong zones team, as shown. Like they got the knockout in the last set.
Yeah.
Oh, and I will correct myself. They actually do. Mega Mode actually does have a double baller comp. They have the Kenta Dualies alongside the Slosher Deco.
Yeah, and I don't think you need 3 ballers. That might be a bit overkill. The bubbles add a little bit more flexibility.
I will say there's nothing more terrifying than having 3 ballers come after you.
This is also true.
If you want to go for asserting your dominance, just go 3 ballers.
Yeah, very much so. All right, so we're coming up on. Ooh, look at that.
There's the Booyah Bomb. I think they're going to end up taking zone this way. Perhaps. They do get it.
But Sinek did get flanked, and it looks like they're going to be jumping in from behind, too. They're getting completely pincered. Will he make the jump out, or is he... Oh.
There you go.
Nice kill from Tails getting in there and being able to dash through. They have definitely ticked down that lead a little bit more, down to 23, and they're getting through their penalty, their most recent penalty. But at 49, maybe later is not out of this.
They have about 30 points left to go. Maybe they can go ahead and maybe later can make a solid pushback, which they might do right now, and take the zone back.
Yeah, maybe later. How about maybe now?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Clap for that.
Yeah, and it looks like this zone keeps on flipping back and forth. Both teams are doing a really good job of coordinating their specials to be able to get in. Looks like Mango is over here on this right side, throwing down some ink, putting some good pressure, using that range of his slosher to. Oh wow, gets one from over the top on the Kent's umbrella. Just kind of hanging out in the zone. The numbers are ticking down. We're almost getting out of that penalty.
And I know I haven't put a lot of perspective on the shooters here, being the Kensa and the NZAP, which I'm on right now, but they have a really important role, and their role as being painters is literally just paint the zone, make sure it's fine, and gather your special and stay back. They're not necessarily supposed to be slayers.
Nice, and maybe later does get that almost last-second cap. They leave 3 points on the board for Mango Mode, now 39 points to go, and ticking down from 49 in a little bit once that penalty is taken out. But we're going into OT. Let's see if they're going to be able to hold this the whole time or if Mango Mode can get that final cap and push back.
Oh, this Booyah Bomb, not close enough.
Yeah, do you think the Booyah Bomb was the right idea there, or should they have just finished painting the zone and then Booyah Bomb to try and get Mango Mode out? Because Mango Mode was able to now take the 2-0 lead because of that one possible error.
I don't know if he could have even painted before the rest of Mango Mode was able to close in on them.
Mm-hmm.
But you see Mango, the namesake, getting 14 kills, 6 ballers, 14 kills and assists. I should be clear about that. We did speak earlier about zones being potentially the most balanced mode, and I think the reason for that is because it's the one mode where your kills and your slaying is going to matter the most. If you can keep people off the map, they can't play objective. You can even back cap Rainmaker, you can back cap Clamblitz, you can even back cap Tower Control, which shouldn't happen. Yeah. Oh yeah, you can go ahead and take the controller if you want.
Yeah, go ahead and do your thing. I know you got some great insight onto spot zones.
Yeah, you can back up everything, but if you just kill the other team in zones, there's nothing they can do about it. So that's probably why in a game with no official team deathmatch, there's no actual counting that. That doesn't really count. That's why zones is widely regarded as one of the most balanced modes. Yeah,
because it's so slay dependent. Other modes, of course, back caps being sneaky are gonna be great opportunities for you to be able to get some easy points on the board and possibly steal a match that you might not have outslayed the other team. But zones, it's really hard to do that. It is really hard to do that. It looks like now we're going to be heading into the contentious Clamblitz on Muscle Forge of all maps. So let's see who's going to be building up some clams, building up some muscle.
You know, it's weird. Rainmaker is widely regarded as the football of Splatoon, but it's not. It doesn't have an actual football like Clams. Clams has footballs, but it's more like basketball, isn't it?
Yeah, it's basketball, football. It's I don't know. Maybe some rugby kind of thing in there,
Probably rugby.
Yeah.
A lot more passing in rugby.
Yeah.
Actually, I will turn that auto spectate off since this might be the end of this round.
Yeah. Well, yeah. We're gonna be in Muscle Forge. This map is. I know this map. A lot of people are. It's. You know, back and forth. Like, is it a good map? Is it not a good map? Like, there are some modes like that. It is. It is pretty solid on, but there's some other modes like I do believe Clamblitz is one of them where. It's a bit tough just because you have so many sneaky paths that can be really difficult to guard, and it really also just creates opportunities for so many just back caps and stuff like that.
To me, Muscle Forge is the second coming of Flounder Heights for the Splatoon 1 veterans. It's a little bit smaller, but it has similar kind of verticality abuse, similar avenues for flanking. And you see all those clams peppered around. I'm going to go ahead and keep the view on this top-down mode for a little bit so you can see where everyone's going. Everyone's not going directly to the middle, but they're taking their time and gathering clams.
And one thing to note, maybe later actually switched out who their Splatling player is. They now have, I guess, Corn on Splatling when it has been Sinek most of the time. It looks like we already have a Power Clam on the side of Mango Mode, though. They are one down.
Austin, and as commentators curse, I zoom in on him, and he just dies.
Yeah. But they are putting some pressure on the backliner, sending some missiles over. They can't get that football. They keep on getting slayed, and good job for maybe later for using it as bait to be able to try and get some picks, allow them to slowly build up clams. The only 3 clams that they do have, though, are with Juicy. So
I am questioning Juicy's decision to not pick up the clams that were right beside them.
Yeah, especially since like the clams then despawn, and Juicy gets taken out. Sinek is in a bit of a predicament with a baller right there, and
gets rolled over by the baller. I'd say top 5 most disrespectful ways to die in this game.
Top 5?
I mean, I've
Top
seen
three. Top three.
I've seen some pretty contentious. I'd say the worst one. So my friend Electro from Momentum, he actually has a very highly retweeted clip of he's on Triggerfish and he actually rolls over a splashdown at the top of its peak, using the baller. That's got to be up there.
Oh yeah, that's probably way up there, and that is definitely some interesting internet connection shenanigans that also helped that happen.
Probably.
Yeah. But it looks like Maybe Later does have a great set of clams on their side. They currently have, unfortunately with Juicy getting taken out, that does bring it down quite a bit. But they have a power clam. They have some extras on their side. Now up to 18 again, and I think they're just waiting for a good opportunity to jump in. But Mango Mode's doing a really good job of defending, keeping a lot of paint down.
Yeah, as we saw in the first, I was able to watch the first pool, the game 4. Mango Mode took it to Clam Blitz on New Albacore Hotel, and they were playing almost a perfect game of Clam Blitz.
Yeah, it was absolutely nuts, and it looks like they ended up taking the baller in with the power clam, and they weren't able to get a jump with the other power clam, so it kind of left them high and dry. They weren't able to get any points off of that push. They lost one of their power clams, and now it's just Corn in the back sitting with it. But there's no map control, and they don't really have any ballers coming up to be able to push in.
I'm turning on that auto spectate.
Yeah, let it do its kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because
I'm curious to see how it actually goes.
Yeah.
Oh, Mango able to pick that up. That was a masterful
sneaky Mango. But was this really worth it? Because now they're going to get an extra power clam, and they're going to be able to take the lead off of this next push if they get both of them in. Mango Mode was not able to get enough points to be able to make it, I think, worth it. Yes, it got the ball in, but it didn't end up getting more than 10 points to be able to save them.
Interesting decision by Sunek there. He had the opportunity to make the power clam easily, but didn't take it, instead opting to go with the 9 clams, and that's a popular strat. Sunek getting the baller shredded and not able to get in and toss that ball in.
Yeah, and the other baller goes off, and this is a very interesting setup for Maybe Later. Juicy does come in from behind and get it and get the football in.
They're
getting a few more points, but they need one more.
And
And
Juicy can't get it.
That was so close. But pretty close so far. They still have a power clam up, so they're going to be able to make a push pretty quickly once the basket does come down again. But I don't know if they know Austin only needs one more clam to be able to get a power clam in.
Shout out to @EndgameTV1. Thank you for joining the stream and blessing us with your presence.
Oh, thank you for joining. I hope Saturday Morning Coffee, if it's still going on, I hope it went well. If it just ended, hope you enjoy some time over here. And wow, Mango Mode, 32 power clams, or 32 clams. That's going to be a big push.
Wow, that went from 70 straight to 30.
Yeah. And
they got Beauty gets hers in.
Yeah, so 14 points left. How are they going to be able to finish this up? Muty is in the back with a baller, and
they won't be able to get the clams in.
Yeah.
Austin, unfortunately, not able to get that. But there's that double baller composition coming in very strong. We were talking about it, and I think they're going to just keep sticking with this entire tourney.
Yeah, and
no reason not to.
Yeah, there's only so much time for Maybe Later to be able to get that power clam over to the other side. They do have one because it was the freebie that spawned, but
they will be able to set that overtime off. But you know, it's it's the longest overtime, but it's also a short overtime, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, it doesn't last forever. It lasts for only a certain amount of time. Like, you have to get to the other side, and it looks like they lost their power clam, and they're not going to be able to get. Oh, they're passing the power clam, but it was not enough time. Mango Mode takes it 3-0.
3-0.
Yeah.
Severe dominance. Wow.
Yeah. Awesome job from Mango Mode for really capitalizing on a lot of the mistakes that Maybe Later were making.
Right.
Especially with the individual play from a lot of the members on the team. They were able to get a lot of picks and be able to prevent a lot of pushes. They were playing a really good defensive game, paying the map really well, and solid match.
Yeah, Maybe Later should not be demoralized by this. They played some amazing